What is going on, guys? Welcome to TEW 2016. That's right, we're back. I tried this a while ago. It was quite popular, but I just didn't carry it on. Funnily enough for me, I know it doesn't happen very often, but I just lost interest. But I've been playing it offline a lot, and I've got really back into it. Really into it. So we're going to do a series where the aim is to get eventually employed as the head booker of WWE. So we're going to call it, rather ingeniously, I think, Road to WWE. Oh, sorry. See, I'm getting in the mood already. I'm attacking my microphone already. So yeah, the WWE is the main goal. But to do that, we've got to evolve to get there. And so we're starting with Evolve Wrestling, who are a small company, very small. At the beginning, they only have I think we come in at Evolve 82, and then there's Evolve 83, which is once a month. I wasn't happy with that, so I went into the database, edited it slightly, so we do have a weekly Tuesday night, Be There, Be Square YouTube series called Evolve Live. So it's a weekly show to help build the superstars that we've got, to help create storylines, kind of get it going. So that is the premise of it. So we're starting off at Evolve. We may say move on to Ring of Honor, TNA, blah, blah, but the main goal in the very end is to get to WWE and try and sort that place out. So without further ado, we're kicking off straight into a pay-per-view. I know. Talk about throwing us at the deep end. Evolve 82. So we start off the show really terribly with an F, a 08 rating. That's probably to do with me, but whatever, never mind. So I've come in and I wanted to employ somebody who could act as the general manager, because I didn't want to be on the screen all the time doing things. I'm kind of like the, COO or whatever of the company, kind of like one of the managers, but not the general manager of the shows. And I thought Brad Maddox would throw him in real life. He'd probably be a bit more popular because of the whole Page situation, but we'll scoot over that. So he's there. I've introduced him as a new authority figure, so he's going to be the GM of the show. So it's going to be him who's going to be arranging matches and stuff. I will sort of dip in every now and again, but mainly it's going to be Brad Maddox who sets up the matches. I'm expecting these first show ratings to be shocking. We've come straight in at Evolve 82, so it's going to be very difficult for us to get anything going. We are going to be having a weekly show, which is going to be on YouTube to start off with. So we'll see how that sort of helps build momentum a bit. I wanted something in between these sort of pay-per-views to build stories, build characters and stuff. Otherwise, the ratings are going to be terrible the whole time. So Maddox has debuted his old school heel cocky gimmick, and he's got an average rating for that. The announcing quality lifted this segment, which is a bonus. So Brad's first little sort of moment as GM is to announce the fact that there's going to be a new title. It's going to be called the National Title, so it's going to be kind of like the Intercontinental title of Evolve Wrestling, just something else, because there was only the tag team titles, a tournament which I've scrapped, and the championship when I came in. So Brad Maddox kicking it off with there's a brand new title, and he goes on to sort of say there's going to be a few new faces appearing in a battle royal that we're going to have to determine who the champion is. And he then goes on to introduce Aaron Class, which we all know as Damien Sandow. I didn't want to use Sandow's name, and didn't want to use any of his other names, and I thought, well, we use his first name, and I thought Class, because he always played a classy kind of a guy, didn't he, in WWE. So Aaron Class, he's coming in as a face. We've also got Mason Ryan, who will also be a face. I want to try and build him kind of a bit like a Batista kind of guy in Evolve. And then Devon Dudley, he has come in. He's also a face, because the roster was massively heel orientated when I came in. They didn't actually have a face heel divide, but it's something that I wanted to add to the product. So we have a heel face divide now. So I needed to bring you some guys on the faces. So Class, Ryan and Devon are all going to be faces. They're all going to be involved in this battle royal for the national championship. So Class has debuted his old school face gimmick and it's wholesome. He's got great for that. Ryan got badass realistic, he's got an average, and badass realistic for Devon as well, which is above average. The segment deserved better colour commentary, which is something I'm working on. And Chrissy Hem should I say, has debuted her staff member realistic gimmick, which has got an average rating, which is good. She is going to be the manager of Mason Ryan. I wanted to bring him in with somebody sort of to manage him, and Chrissy Hem was available, so there you go, she's in. And I've not named the storylines anything that will give any of the story away, so I've got like storyline 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, just to keep it under wraps so I don't give anything away as to what is going to go on in the future. Okay, then we move into the first match of the card, and it is indeed a tag team match for the tag team titles. Now, there isn't a tag team division. There is only one proper tag team, and that is the Bravado Brothers. And I want to kind of build on that going forward. So I am negotiating with people to come in who will start to build towards having a bit of a tag team division. We do also have a couple of wrestlers that I am going to try in sort of dark matches to start building up and then introduce as tag teams and so on and so forth as we go along. This one, 40D-, not brilliant. Like I say, the ratings aren't going to be the best to start off with because we've got to try and build these guys using new guys we're going to kind of speculate to accumulate to bring in a few people basically. But we had a decent match, but it didn't have much in the way of heat. The Bravado Brothers actually beat Dickinson and Jacker and took the titles off them, so they are the new Evolve Tag Team Champions. I wanted to move that over straight away. They were the first proper tag team, you know, that have a bit of something about them, so they deserved to be the champions. Dickinson and Jacker will probably be in and around the tag teams, but also be in and around the singles. They'll kind of, you know, fit in where needs be. But that's gone down quite well. You know, the Bravado Brothers getting 44 and 42, Jacker getting 35 and Dickinson getting 33. So not terrible ratings. We are only a small company, so the ratings, you know, are relatively good for that level. But a decent match, I guess. D-. Can't really grumble too much at that. And then we have the owner of the company. He's the only person really who I could use to do interviews and stuff at the moment. I'm working on bringing in a lovely lady to try and do that sort of stuff. Somebody who's not very well known. People who play the game may know her. People who are really into wrestling may know her. But we're working on bringing her in to do interviews and so on. And kind of build her up. And just have somebody who can have that backstage presence of, you know, chatting to the stars. But today we had to go with Gabe, and he's chatting to Mr. Class. He's got 38D-, which isn't that terrible. I'd imagine if it was somebody better than Gabe, it'd have got a much higher rating. But he's just kind of, you know, chatting to him, sort of saying welcome to the company. You know, Aaron's doing kind of a I'm here to win titles, blah blah blah, you know, all that sort of stuff. He's coming, he wants to win titles, he wants to, you know, become sort of the face about the place kind of thing. He's had a bit of a rough ride. You know, he kind of got set aside in the WWE. They didn't use his talents to the best, and he wants to come here, prove himself, win the national title in the Battle Royal, then, you know, kick on, defend it, be the best national champion there possibly can be, then move on and take the Evolve Championship. You know, kind of that sort of an interview. Just kind of trying to get him over, trying to get him established, trying to use the bigger guys on the roster that we're bringing in to lift everybody else's ratings up, pull them all up and get them to a higher level. And then we go into the second match, Kyle O'Reilly versus Sami Callihan. O'Reilly the face, Callihan is a heel. 56C- rating, which is actually really good. That surprised me a little bit. In about that good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Kyle O'Reilly defeated Sami Callihan in 12 minutes 14 by submission with an ankle lock. So these two guys are clearly two of the better people in Evolve Wrestling. They've got a 57 and a 53 rating. So we know that there are some here that can draw a decent rating. That's not a bad match. I'm quite impressed with that. It's not part of any storyline. It was just a filler match. You're going to see quite a few filler matches in between storyline matches. We don't have to have storylines, but I just like, it's not a necessity at the moment as the company is, but I just like having them. It just, that's what wrestling is. It's storytelling. And now this is the sort of segment that I was on about. These guys are the guys that are going to drag the show ratings down, a 15F+. This is part of a storyline. Bill Carr is a bit of a bully, okay? His character, he's a bit of a, a bit of a rogue, a bit of a bully. He sees Lio Rush, a young kid, he's only 22, coming in trying to make his way, and decides, I'm going to pick on him. I'm going to start having a bit of a bully with him. I'm going to start showing him who's boss. So Bill Carr absolutely batters the living daylights out of him backstage, smashes him into the old shutter door, through the table, smashes him with a light, hits him with a few chairs, heads through the call box. That's always a classic in a backstage brawl. And basically just lays the kid out on his ass, beats him down. It's only got a 15 rating. I've got a feeling that's going to be because of Bill Carr. I don't think Bill Carr is great. I think Lio Rush is slightly ahead of him in terms of popularity and stuff. But hopefully I'm going to bring somebody else into the fold in this little rivalry. And hopefully he's going to help pull them both up. And then you'll see a few of these. An E-, Jesus, 18, that's not great at all. You'll see a few of these where I'm just going to do throwaway little segments just to help progress the show a little bit. It's just one of Mason Ryan warming up backstage, getting ready for this big match coming up. And then boom, in we go. It's a 15-man battle royal. So there's Aaron Class, Bill Carr, Caleb Colney, Danny Barry, David Starr, Devon, Dustin, Ethan Page, Keith Lee, Lio Rush, Mason Ryan, Matt Riddle, Ricochet, who is a bit of a crowd pleaser, I believe, Timothy Thatcher, no relation to Margaret, and Tracy Williams, who is a man, by the way. Tracy can. I did know a guy called Tracy. So just to clarify though, I haven't put a woman in there by accident. We don't actually have any women in the company at the moment apart from Chrissy. So that's it. Christy, should I say? I keep calling her Chrissy. So that's that. And in a decent match, Devon won a battle royal. Get in. 28 minutes in, he managed to thrape everybody out. It went down to the final four, which were Class, Thatcher, Dustin, and Class being the final elimination. So he was out of there. So the new national champion, the first ever national champion, is actually Devon Dudley. We're not calling them Dudleys, but we will. In the show they're not Dudleys. I'm playing it very realistic in terms of we don't want any copyright infringements from the WWE for using certain names. Some of the guys who come in will probably use their WWE names like Mason Ryan and people like that, but I didn't want to use Devon Dudley and Bubba Ray Dudley and people like that going forwards. If we get, that's just a thing, just an example. Or Damien Sandow or whatever. Say if we signed Dolph Ziggler, I don't know if I'd use Dolph Ziggler, that sort of thing. I want to try and not always use the character names. But Devon Dudley, the first National Champione. I got a flat out zero. I think what it is, I didn't give myself any ratings at the beginning. I think I just kind of jumped in, so maybe I need to look at my ratings. I know you get sort of points and stuff or something I need to sort of add to my character, so I need to do that at some point. But I'm seeing backstage on the phone to a mystery person. I hope it's a lady. I like the ladies. Saying how thrilled I am that person is on their way to sign on the dotted line with the company. So we've got somebody coming on their way during Evolve 82 to sign up to the company. Who could it be? Hulk Hogan? No, it's not really. So I've got a terrible rating. I'm getting better at my gimmick though. The announcing quality lifted the segment. The colour commentary also lifted the segment slightly. And then into just again another throwaway match, 35E-. Jigsaw versus Rory Gulak. and it's a decent match. Jigsaw defeated Gulak in 7 minutes 51 by pinfall with a jig and tonic. I like that name, that's good, I like it. Jigsaw is not suited to his gimmick, so we may have to look at that maybe. I don't know if I'm going to keep him too much. There's a few people I'm thinking of letting go and release him once we get a little bit of money up and running. But so Jigsaw, not great. Rory Gulak is getting better at his gimmick. Again, the announced quality, I'm not going to keep saying that because it says that for most matches. 40 rating for Jigsaw and 31 for Gulak. So, like I say, throwaway match. Didn't expect that much. Again, a terrible rating, an E-, which is a 20. I'm there. I'm doing the interview this time just to kind of change it up a little bit. And I have interviewed Mr. Zack Sabre Jr. He's going to be involved in a match later on in the night. He's actually currently the reigning defending champion of Evolve Wrestling. He's going to be taking on Drew Galloway in the final. In the cup final, in the final match of the day in the main event. So we're just having a bit of a chat about that. He's just sort of saying, you know, yeah, it's going to be a tough match, but I'm the champ, I'm the main man, I know what I'm doing, don't you worry about me, Pablo. And then off he skips. And D plus 50, so that's not terrible, It's the main event of the evening. A decent match. Drew Galloway defeated Zack Sabre Jr. in 20 minutes and 15 by submission with an Iron Maiden, but after blatantly cheating. Drew Galloway cheat? Never. So Drew Galloway wins the title. He was seen really off his game. That sucks a bit. He got a 45 rating. Sabre got a 52 rating, and it's advanced one of our storylines. The reason I've done that, I'm going to explain to you why. You know, say you've gone onto the internet and you're looking at, spoilers. The reason that's happened is Zack Sabre is actually tied into contracts elsewhere. I can't offer him an exclusive paper appearance or a written contract because of an agreement that's going on between a few guys, and he is never ever going to be available for any shows in between these pay-per-views. There's no point in having him there, so straight in at a pay-per-view, he's dropped the belt. That's that. He's probably going to be going. He may be used every now and again, but I may just let him go when his contract runs. I'll just sort of keep him here if we ever need him for a pay-per-view match, just use him in that. But it's difficult, so you know that's why I've dropped the title from him and given it to Drew Galloway. I felt Galloway deserved a run as champion because he was here before everybody else. I didn't want to bring, say, Sandow in and him win the title in his first night in the main title. We want to build something up in terms of the main title and sort of go through a little bit of a process with it. C minus 53. This is good, I like it. So following the match, Drew Galloway looks up the ramp to see none other than Ryback. That is right, feed him more. He has arrived. He stood there. Ryback then holds up his new contract in the air and gives a really cheeky little grin as he stares down at Drew Galloway. Galloway kind of staring back up, a little bit in shock, holding his new title. So Ryback was clearly the man who I was on the phone to saying, I cannot wait for you to get here and sign on, big man. We're going to rock the world with this bad boy. So Ryback is here. He's only got a below average for his Badass Brute gimmick, which is a bit of a shame. He is coming in again as a face. We're trying to build up the face side, but obviously Ryback's not going to stay a face forever. He can do face, but I'm sure at some point we're going to turn him and he's going to be an absolute beast. But that's advanced the storyline again. So storyline 1, you've probably guessed now, is something to do with the title. It's not hard to guess, but some people do this and they kind of name it like, I don't know, no, Brock Lesnar turns on Paul Heyman storyline and things. I just think, don't do that, it gives it away. So I know what the storylines are. I just, I don't want to advertise them. So I've got a whole notepad. Got a notepad, if you'll hear this. Notepad here with little notes and stuff and little arches and angles and all that sort of stuff that I may do in the future coming forwards. But Ryback has arrived. He's the main man that is coming after Mr. Drew Galloway. And so all in all, as we look at this, a D plus 49 for our first show isn't terrible for a small company. It's not brilliant, but it isn't terrible. It's increased our popularity in 30 regions, so that's good. It may not massively increase it, but that's not too bad at all. I have managed to pick up the wonderful, wonderful rating of terrible by 0, closely followed by me again and Brad Maddox with an 8. But all in all, I think we've done okay. The best one that we got was O'Reilly versus Callihan, which is a 56, closely followed by the new signing of Ryback arriving and facing Drew Galloway. Well, not standing face to face, but ramp, ring, stare down. The classic ending of show in wrestling where somebody's at the top of the ramp, staring down, gobbing off, giving it the big I am. He's holding his contract, waving it around. Galloway's in the ring, so yeah, whatever, holding his title up. You can't beat me, you can't beat me. Knowing that for a full fact that if Ryback comes charging to the ring, he can jump out the ring, through the crowd, off he goes, sort of thing. That sort of an ending. That got the second highest rating. I think in terms of who did well, O'Reilly and Callihan deserve a lot of credit for that. They've done really well. Also, the Battle Royal did really well. Fair play to Devon. I was going to leave the national title open. I didn't actually sort of script who would win or anything like that. I thought I'm just going to see who wins and then come up with a storyline afterwards. So I'm going to go away now and start working on some ideas for the national title storyline, which way it's going to go. I am aware, I did notice, don't you notice, but it didn't actually award Devon the title, so you can actually do that when you go into the title screen. It's going to be sat there as vacant. I can just click on it and change vacant to Devon. So Devon will be awarded the title. Maybe if the title would have been on the line, I swear I clicked it, but maybe I didn't save it or something when I added the title to it. It probably would have upped the rating even more, but there you go. But all in all, the opening show, I think, has done pretty well. There we have it. First show done, dusted. We can't go back, we can't change it now. It's written in the history books. So it didn't go too badly, I didn't think. Obviously, I need to sort my character out. I need to get my skill points up and so on and so forth and all sort of worked out. But we've got some guys coming in that I'm excited about. Ryback got a good reception. I think Sandow got a decent reception. So Devon did as well. Obviously, Devon's picked up a national title, so we're kind of building something there. We have got quite a few guys and possibly girls in talks with us at the moment to try and bring in. I'm trying to get a couple of people who we currently have on paper appearances, so they're currently off doing stuff with other companies the same nights we're running, so I'm trying to get them on exclusive paper appearances. So it may take a while for those to kick in because they have to leave the other companies, but hopefully we'll be able to get those signed up and be able to get those guys in. And I just think we're small at the moment. I'd like to get to regional as quick as possible, kind of just build us up that little bit. And I think with the people we are going to hopefully bring in, that is a possibility. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit a like, or if you're not happy about it, leave a Aussie like or a dislike, whatever you want to call it. I really don't care. I really couldn't care less. If you didn't see my last Football Manager video, I actively asked for dislikes only, just to prove it doesn't matter. So feel free to leave either. Not bothered at all. If you do have any suggestions down below in the comments as to who to sign, maybe a little while if I do decide to go them before they come in, because I am recording in bulk to try and make sure I've got enough material to keep pushing out there. So let me know in the comments down below if there's people. Some of them are not going to be possibilities, so be realistic. I'm not going to say I'm definitely going to go with people you suggest, but it just gives me an idea of different people to bring in, people I don't maybe know about or maybe haven't looked at yet. So, and believe you me, I've looked at a lot. Anyway guys, I'm out of time. It's been a pleasure being in your face. Don't worry, these cameras are only going to be at the beginning of the end. I promise I won't start putting my ugly mug in the middle or the side or the top in the main videos, because I don't see the need for it. But when we're just talking like this, I thought, fuck it. Let's just have a bit of face-to-face time. Let's have a bit of a moment. It's nice, isn't it? Not for everybody. Did he? You're not really happy about this? You're going to call me ugly again. But anyway, whatever. I don't care. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.